Well, fingers crossed that they're gonna like it, right? Like this is a low budget, this is an indie werewolf movie, so we did the best we could with what we had and our available resources. So I really, really hope that everyone's gonna like it, because we really fucking do. So
I think werewolf fans are anxious for new product. It's an underserved subgenre within horror, and there isn't a lot of fresh material that comes out. It's usually handled in the very same way. So, being that there's not a real deluge of new werewolf movies coming out, mixed with people maybe looking for something new, I hope that they're open to this movie, and I think that they'll respond real positively. Different kind of movie, but a very welcome approach to a time-worn subject.
Sean wrote a very complex, very gritty, a werewolf character, and I focused more on the basic animalistic characteristics. For instance, it's very different than what we've seen, with modern day horror. You still have the blood, guts, and the gore, but we went back to the classics, for instance. So I hope you like that.
I think werewolf fans are going to be pleasantly surprised with how this film came out. There's so much talent in this movie, and I feel honored the fact that I was able to work with such talented people and meet so many people that I had never worked with before. And all these people together put together a really great movie. And I think that if you're a werewolf fan at all, you just have to love it, because a fan of werewolf movies made it. Like, this is a love letter to every werewolf / lycanthrope movie that you could ever think of. It's great, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it, because if I wasn't and I saw this movie, I would say this is gritty and dirty and everything that I want it to be.
I think the majority of werewolf films focus on males being the werewolf. In this movie, we have some ladies in here as the werewolf, so I think that's pretty cool. I think that might be something that kind of makes it stand out a little bit. More female fronted.
Betsy's definitely different than your conventional werewolf film, I think, because it has a lot of heart. It has a lot more heart than I had originally thought it was going to be, because this is coming from the director of a movie that is not quite so heartwarming. This movie focuses more on that side rather than just a hack and slash werewolf film, and I think it really delivers.
I do feel that Betsy is different from a lot of other werewolf films, just because usually with a werewolf film, it's usually a man, and this time it's a woman, so it gives you a little bit of a different perspective, a little bit more sexy vibe. It goes more into her storyline and what all had happened, and it's really interesting.
I think Betsy is a unique film in a lot of ways. I think that it takes the mythology of the werewolf and leaves it at the door, almost like it's assumed that you understand what a werewolf is and how they work. And it focuses more on the humanity in the monster as opposed to the monster and the human, if that makes sense. A lot of movies about monsters or humans who turn into monsters are really about the beast. And this is more about the human dealing with the beast, which I think is a really fascinating angle here. And it doesn't focus too heavily on the attack sequences. Again, it's more about her experience as she's dealing with this thing. So I think that's really what sets it apart, is that it's a very suspenseful film. It's a heavy movie because you're dealing with a lot of the emotional aspects of what this person's going through in a very unusual and inhuman situation.
Well, I wanted to, because I love werewolves. I was so stoked when Sean came to me and he told me that he wanted me to be a part of this movie. I just jumped at the opportunity because I absolutely love werewolves. They're like my favorite mythological creatures, so I was so fucking stoked about that.
I've been a supporter of Sean's work for a long time. I really love his approach to filmmaking. I love how prolific he is. I like his angle that he takes with his movies. It's always something a little bit off. Not off in a bad way, but off like not your normal approach to subject matter. Like with Betsy, for example. I think that he sees things through a different lens, and that's part of what makes his movies special. So when it came time for the film was moving into production, he and I had a conversation about getting me involved, and I was absolutely on board with being a part of it however I could be. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I think it was a lot of fun, and I look forward to the audience reaction to this unusual movie.
I think I wanted to become a part of this film because I had Sean Burkett on my radar for quite some time, and I've been following him on social media and stuff like that, and I've been wanting to work with him for a while, and I love werewolf movies. They're one of my favorite genres in the horror genre. And I knew that he wasn't going to half-ass it. I knew that he was going to do something different. He wasn't just going to make a regular werewolf film. I knew that he wanted to do something completely off the charts for an indie, small budget film. And me and Sean had been talking about working together since Don't Fuck in the Woods, because I was originally supposed to be in that, and with scheduling and stuff like that, we weren't able to work. So as soon as I knew that he was doing something else, I had to be a part of it, and luckily there was a part that was just right for me, and I'm so glad, because I think this is something truly special.
I came to part of the film. I was asked to play Jill, who is Colin's wife. Colin is played by Joe Kidd, who I absolutely love. He's awesome. He's a great actor, and I love working with him. And I love working with Concept Media.
Sean is probably the most relaxed director that I have ever worked with in my life. That was like the entire shoot, like nothing was like super high stress. It all just was paced, and it was like, okay, if we can do it, let's go ahead and do it. Like, so it was a very, very relaxed set compared to some others that I've been on.
Sean's approach to filmmaking is really organic. He's easy to work with on both sides of the camera. He loves to be hands-on, so he's wearing lots of hats on the production, but that also means that he's well acquainted with approaching the story from all sides, which is not something that every director is acquainted with. A lot of directors are focused in this box. They sort of stay in the zone of the director mindset of maybe the structure, something like that, where he is all in from sound to camera, writing, the music on the back end. He's really seeing the full picture the whole time that he's making his films. And Betsy's a testament to that. His approach is really unique. He's a good director. In terms of the acting side of things, he gives you a little bit of feedback and then lets you do what you do, which I think is something that illustrates his openness to the input of others in his creative process. And it also illustrates his trust in the people that he's working with. And that's valuable. That's really valuable, and I hope that shows up on screen.
I've known Sean Burkett for a very long time. He definitely is a lot of the reason why I am a horror movie actress. Concept Media, which he is, owner of, gave me the first role in a horror movie. So I thank them, everyone involved, forever and ever, for giving me the courage to branch out and to do other things, and then also be able to come back to Concept Media whenever we feel is a right character fit. And it's cool to do that. So I'll be ever so grateful.
Working with Sean is very rewarding because he lets you know when you're doing a good job and when you're just not giving him what he's asking for. And that's perfect for me because I want to know if I'm shitting on this film. And I remember this one time we were working in one of the coffee shop scenes, and it was when I meet Betsy for the first time, and we had cut, and as soon as we cut, he just kind of looked at me and was like, God, so good. And hearing that from Sean, he's being genuine, because on set he's kind of a man of few words. He's very, very focused the whole time, and you don't really get a read on him. Like, if you don't know Sean and it's your first day on set, you're thinking that maybe this guy's kind of maybe mad, but really what it is he's just very focused on getting what he needs. and he wants it to be done right, and he wants to get the right coverage. And I think that's a great thing, because as an actor, when you see the finished product, he makes you look better.
Sean is absolutely amazing. I love working with him. If I could do it full time, I would love to, but not able to do that. But Sean is absolutely amazing. He is an awesome director, and I love working with him.
So my favorite part was getting to turn into a werewolf. That made me the happiest, because when we shot that scene, it was a full moon, and when Kate turns into the werewolf, she gets to howl, "Fuck me sideways."
I'm like, Freddy Krueger's here!
But anyways, Kate gets to transform into this werewolf underneath the full moon, and it really was a full moon outside, and I got to howl at it. And that was my fucking favorite part of the movie, is that I got to howl at the moon as this werewolf. My least favorite part was probably working in, like, fucking negative degree weather. It probably wasn't even negative degrees. But it was very, very cold, and we were all going numb. Couldn't feel a whole lot of body parts toward the end of the night, but that's, you know, it is what it is.
My favorite part was filming there were a couple favorite parts. My favorite part of the movie filming would have been the attack sequence, where I get all bloodied up. They Ryan put a great prosthetic on my face and just doused me in blood, and I got attacked out in the woods. That was a lot of fun. That was a long night. I went back and revisited. It was a lot of fun, though. The other day that was the last day on the first weekend on set, where we shot everything in the coffee shop. That whole day was just a blast. We were all having fun, and there was so much laughter. Everybody was just on board with the general spirit in the room, which was really upbeat. And I think Sean's openness to us being kind of silly made it easier for all of us to relax and really give into the scene. That day was so much fun. The whole shoot was amazing, but that day in particular was a lot of fun.
I loved filming everything. I love, again, working with Sean. There's not really anything that I didn't enjoy filming. Even after filming, I just kind of want to be there and see what was going on and help out. And I really enjoy being on set. Even if I'm not doing anything, I'll try to be there and help as much as possible.
We were shooting in the truck. We were doing truck in interior stuff, and when doing the interior truck stuff, we had been in there for a little while, and for some reason Sean wanted to get out and get a shot of something else. And Mike, who we were calling Boom Mike because he was doing sound for Betsy, found this body spray in this truck and completely saturated the back seat. So when Sean got back into the back seat, he hated it because he was smelling it and it was terrible. And this goes back to when Sean is very focused, so he just wanted to get out of this truck. He wanted to shoot out the truck. And there's just this moment where he just said, "This is it," and was just disgusted, and we all just bursted out laughing. And then he was like, "Action."
Many people have said that the director is cursed with bad weather or misfortune. Did anything along these lines happen while filming?
No, everything went great. The entire movie just... No, yeah, absolutely. We got pushed back, we got held back a little bit because of weather, but that's what happens when you shoot outside. And we all know that, we all understand, we just keep going.
As far as this curse, I didn't know there was a curse, but I definitely believe it, 100%. I think one night it was so fucking cold that the camera froze. We wanted rain. Oh, we got rain. It just wouldn't stop. We wanted snow, because, wouldn't that have been beautiful with the blood, the red blood, and the white snow? Yeah, we didn't get that. We actually had to extend shooting because of the weather. So you tell me, is that a curse?
So in terms of Sean being cursed, there was only one thing that happened while we were shooting, and we lost all the audio the night that we did the bar stuff. So everything inside and outside the bar with us had to be ADR'd, because all the audio was lost. So that was really it, though. Everything else was great.
Everything that I was there for with Betsy, nothing bad really happened at all. So we looked out on that. At least for me, I wasn't there for all the bad stuff. I'm sure there was bad stuff, because it always happens, especially with filming. You're going to run into something here and there.
Maybe there was a moment where we had to reshoot some stuff because for some reason the camera wasn't rolling, even though it said it was rolling. That was a little weird and a little bit bizarre, but that's about it. I don't think there's anything that is cursed about him as a director.